Everyone, welcome to another episode of Mirai Club. I have a guest today. We are doing the comparison of the Tesla Model 3 versus the Toyota Mirai. This is my buddy Kevin.
Hey.
He's the owner of the Tesla, kindly lent it to me for this review. And then we're just gonna go through the pretty much, you could research the specs online, but this is mainly just look, feel, kind of day-to-day living with it. So let's go. All right, so here's a quick overview of the two. Model 3, Mirai. Similar, I guess, like color or tone. There are some aftermarket pieces on the Tesla, but here we have the blacked out wheels. And on the Tesla, we have the black hubcaps. These are aftermarket. So I guess in some ways it's about the same visually. It's hard to tell on the camera, but the Mirai is significantly larger. I'm sure you've seen it on the road, but that is based off of Lexus LS chassis. I believe it's slightly shorter. And then the Tesla Model 3 and the Model Y are built on the same platform, I believe. But I would say if I had to do a comparison, it's like a Toyota Camry or so. I don't know the exact dimensions, but the whole point of that is that the Mirai is significantly larger, just in general proportions compared to the Model 3. So let's go toward let's do the trunks first, or the frunks, or lack thereof, of the Mirai. Do a comparison there first, and then we'll go from the front to the rear. Let's go. All right, so for the Mirai, the hood latch here. Since I have the key in my pocket, it is beeping at me. The car is a bit dirty, but it's gonna rain in Southern California very soon. There is that fuel cell, and then the tanks run where the transmission tunnel are, and then some right in the trunk. And then in the meantime, the Tesla, through the mobile app, you can unlock the front. It's very convenient. And you do get a decent amount of storage here. You got your tow hook, and yeah, you cannot use this as a cooler. There is no drain plug, so don't do that. But already you can see a little bit more practicality with the Tesla. Again, if you want to look up the specs online for yourself, you can do so. But this is more so just a general comparison. I think we all know and expected the frunk, but just the general view from the front, and my arms straight out here to the windshield. So a much shorter front end, makes it easier to turn. For me, I'm standing right in front of the Mirai, hands straight out, go down, ends up here, which is much further away. And the Tesla does not have the passenger, I guess, like safety, I don't know what you call them, but pretty much the hood, pretty much like explosion pieces, I guess. It shoots up the hood, so it angles for better pedestrian safety. It does not need that because of the hood angle. However, on the Mirai, we do have that right there. We do have some sound deadening there, then none here for the Tesla.
That's an issue there. People tend to just push on it. You have to actually put your palm to it and let it click.
There you go. You can see the Mirai, much larger hood than me. To the wheels, we have the sizes. The Mirai, it's a 235 55 19, so it's a 19-inch wheel. 235 is the width. And then versus the Tesla Model 3, we have, it is a 235 45, looks like 18, so it's an inch smaller wheel. same width, and then a thinner sidewall versus the Mirai. It's a thicker sidewall by a little bit. Sidewall is 55 on the Mirai versus 45 on the Tesla, but the same width up front. Let's check the rear. I believe the Mirai is square, meaning all the tires are the same size. That is correct. 235, 55, R19. And for the Tesla, it should be square as well. Yes, 235, 45, 18.
These are aftermarket mud flaps that I installed. It's on all 4 wheels. This one up there, one right here. There's aftermarket, and I highly recommend purchasing it because it helps a lot.
It helps with, you're mentioning, potentially, there's a lot of dirt that comes up here from the wheel, and this could prevent or reduce the buildup.
Prevent splatter dirt?
Yeah, from coming up from the wheel. As a quick comparison from the Mirai, Mirai has no mud flaps, nor am I probably going to get them aftermarket, but they don't come from the factory. This is also a call out on the Mirai. We have lit up indicators on the rear fender or the rear bumper, and make sure to pick up your sticker. But on the Tesla, no rear indicator here on the bumper or anywhere on the side. Here's the rear of the car, and of course the charge port. And then let's see how we close it and open it. So you just press it firmly down, closes. You just tap it. And then you just... So you could pop the charging port with the app, which is very nice. And then to close it, you can use the app as well, or press it firmly downward, or tap it like that, which is cool. Here is the rear view of the Tesla Model 3 that I'm sure most Californians are very, very familiar with. This particular one does have a aftermarket, call it a spoiler, wing, lip, if you will. I think it does add a good amount of character to the car. Buddy Kevin added this. Very tastefully done, sir. And then for the rear of the Mirai, I would say a much more kind of classy look. Very different looks from the two. I would say the Tesla Model 3 definitely looks a lot sportier than the Mirai. I've also contemplated adding a lip right here, but I felt like it would ruin the lines a bit, and this car doesn't really scream sporty. This comparison for the fuel doors, kind of your classic gas cap, just with obviously a hydrogen fueling nipple. Here your dust cover. You've seen this a million times on my video, but relatively standard. And here we are, we're gonna do an interior walk around. Again, this is for, I don't know the exact specs of the interior space of both, but I will show you some real life, I guess, demonstrations that hopefully give you an idea of the space you're working with. I mentioned many times on the Mirai, it's extremely compromised due to the hydrogen fuel cell system, versus on the contrary, the Tesla Model 3, I would say is pretty optimized due to the battery, people call skateboard. So let's go dive in. Let's do the Mirai first. We'll do it really quick. You've seen many of my videos on the space and whatnot, but we'll go through the front first. Sorry, the cars are not in like detailed showroom condition, but I guess real world. I purposefully left the floor mat like this because this is one of the biggest gripes I have with this car. This floor mat, though it does have these spikes, they do not stay on the floor to save their lives. If you kick it a little bit, it just flies away. So I know a lot of people have put the form-fitted plastics on here, but straight from the factory, this thing is pretty much junk. It's very, yeah, it's just a cheap floor mat. It's what you probably get in a Corolla or whatnot. But anyway, outside of the floor mat, the seats are very comfortable. For me, larger bigger American, I guess. The side bolstering on the bottom of the seat is a little tight, so I feel these corners a little bit. I am 6'2", I guess size 36 waist. That helps. But when you come in, watch out for this part if you're a larger person. But plenty of leg room. I'm not going to move the seats where they're from or where they're currently set at, just so you have a good idea of the rear as well. Interior, I think, styled very beautifully, kind of Lexus-esque. Yes, there are plushies in the car. Wireless charger, which is nice. Auto brake hold, parking brake. You have different drive modes: sport, eco, and normal. Snow mode, which I've never used, but I think self-explanatory there. This is a 2022, and I understand that the 2023s and 2024s, there are less buttons up here and more of the HVAC controls, or the AC controls are here, but generally the same design. Then we have the cockpit area, their digital display, pretty basic in my opinion. And then you have a full touchscreen up here. Pretty conventional for most Toyota products. Then up here you have SOS, door button, got sunglass holder, then your standard mic, sun blocker, windshield or sun shield, and mirror. Same with the other side. Got your mic up there for your phone, little mood lighting, if you will. And I will say with this, with about 22,000 miles, it's starting to crease on the vegan leather down here. Again, I am a heavier person. I drive this car primarily. My wife does once in a while, but starting to crease right there. But it is a vegan leather. It's made really well. But yeah. And then of course we have our H2O button over there. So if you want to dump water before you go into your garage, you don't want to have a puddle in your garage every time, you can do that. But again, just a reminder, I'm pretty comfortable up here. And then let's go to the rear. Same seating position. You already see it is relatively tight. I'm not going to move the front seat at all. And my butt is to the back. My feet, my knees are digging into the front seat. A massive, massive tunnel here. This is for one of the tanks of hydrogen. This is larger than pretty much most, if any, most cars, conventional car transmission tunnels. I feel like they might as well have just continued the center console here because it's almost unusable. There is a seatbelt here, so they intend it for people. I have used it a couple times and people are extremely uncomfortable, but for short distances, they are good. 2 USB ports, AC vents here that are not very strong, but they exist. But again, super tight back here. Let me give you a glimpse of the headroom. I'm sitting straight up, butt is all the way back in the seat, and this is how I look. Just straight up, I'm not forcing anything, and extremely uncomfortable. I would have to scoot my butt down a little bit to get into a somewhat comfortable position. So on the driver's side, I do put my seat up a little bit, but it's marginal. I would probably have a little bit more leg room, if it gives you any idea. There's a little bit of room to stick my toes underneath the seat, but you can see here, very little room back here. And you cannot fold the back seats down, so that does take away from the practicality. Let's go to the Tesla. Kevin's going to show off the Tesla. Quick take.
So I do have aftermarket mats too. I highly recommend
rubberized mats, form fitted.
Highly recommend it because it picks up less dirt. It's easier to clean.
It picks up more dirt.
It picks up more dirt, but it's easier to clean. So I could just take it off.
All right. People want to see you in the car. People want to see the inside.
I'm in easy entry. It's a profile here that will allow you to get into the car easier. Just for reference, I am 5'10", 34 waist, just for letting you know. It's nice and comfortable for me. As soon as I hit the brake, it changes profile to mine, and I'm able to drive it more easier. One of the things that I also added was this thing, which holds my cell phone. Also added more ports because it's harder to get to the charging ports. As you see, USB-C ports are down here. So I just got this as an extension, but there is wireless charging here.
How's the storage space in the center?
It's pretty deep inside. I also bought some more storage compartment things, make it more accessible. As you see here.
I forgot to share on the Mirai. The center console is relatively standard, probably similar to the Model 3, from what I could see.
Yeah. Center console's nice. I added this too to hold. I never really use it, to be honest, but I just added it just because. You get this really nice LED screen. Pretty much
the size of the screen.
Not on top of my head, but you can see the specs online. It has everything. You can get upgrades.
How's the responsiveness of the screen?
It's not that. It's really great actually. It responds very detailed. Quickly. It's pretty much. There's no lag on it, and I actually prefer it over buttons.
That's a hot take over there.
I only have 7,000 miles, but this is my daily commuter. I also have a Model Y at home. This car is actually the 2023 edition, and there's a whole difference that you guys can see online, but yeah.
I'm gonna leave Kevin where he is in his driving position, and then I'm gonna sit behind him. So he does sit, I would say, further back than I do in general driving position. But I'm coming into his car. My butt is against the seat, and you can see already the legroom is significantly more, and it's not much of knee space, but compared to my car, tremendous amount more. He has the, turn off the music. And then we have the vents here, USB-C charge ports, the flat floor, which is extremely nice. So if I do sit in the center, I fit relatively comfortably. And one huge thing is that my head does touch the glass slightly, but on the Mirai, there is no, I would have been like this. So this is already a huge step up, but if we went over a bump, you might need new glass. But much more comfortable in terms of space. How does it feel as the comfort of the seat and whatnot? To be honest, relatively similar to the Mirai. I know that's a interesting take, but I know Teslas are known to be a little more firmer on the cushioning, but I will say, at least sitting, I don't know about long journeys, but right now it seems pretty comfortable. You get plenty of room. Obviously you have storage here, and obviously a very minimalistic design compared to the Mirai. I'm gonna do a quick video of the trunk. We have a ton of stuff back here, but I think the easiest way is to stuff Kevin in the rear. Go ahead and try to stick your body in there as deep as you can. Okay, you don't have to go in. No, just like stick your. Okay, all right. You can see his foot. We'll do the Kevin test. He put his whole leg in there. It's all the way to the rear. And can you fold the rear seats?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You don't have to fold them, but just so we know, you can fold the rear seats.
There's another compartment here.
There's another compartment down there. No spare, but you do have another compartment there. Now let's do the Kevin leg test on the Toyota Mirai. I do have a bunch of stuff back here, so I do apologize, but I think we can get a general idea. Let's move some stuff so we have some room for the Kevin test. All right, you could kick the umbrella. And that's all he goes. So I would say mid-thigh. And then, but for the Tesla, what would you say, Kevin? It goes to your...
It goes all the way in...
To your hip?
To my hip.
So a significant amount more room. And for the bottom here, there is no storage. It's just a, was it fix-a-flat kit, I believe? Nope. Oh yeah, we have a air kit, an umbrella that I stored down there, tow hook, no spare, but no additional storage. So storage, Tesla definitely wins. Storage capability, space, I'm sure if you look it up online. And also this is a manual close versus electric automatic. So I hope you enjoyed this quick review or overview comparison. My buddy Kevin there, thank you for letting us use your car for this video. And here we are, Tesla Mirai, and that's a wrap.